Alright, in this final part, I'll be going over how to, finalize a few things and connect the blend shapes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide the joints because I'm pretty much done with them. So I'm going to go show joints here. I'm going to remove them. So basically all I could see now is my controllers. And what I'm going to do now is, as you can see, I have these icons here which I'm going to use to animate with them and connect my facial rig. Now about the eyes and the opening closing the eyes, I'm going to do a separate video on just this and how to make fleshy eyes, and because it's a little more complicated than just connecting it. I could create blend shapes for these, for the opening and closing the eyes, but I kind of like to use joints for this, because if you model this correctly, you should be able to get the eyelids to cover it properly, and it will move over the eyeball. So if you do this nicely, it will work right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open my outliner, and I'll close up everything that I don't need, and I will open the blend shapes. And what I'm going to do, the first thing is, as you can see, I have a whole lot of blend shapes that I got out of Mudbox. Alright, and very important to do is, after you've done all the skinning and all the rigging and everything, what you do is you take the head, you duplicate it, you move it back a bit. Alright, you unlock by going to unlock. Alright, and you move it back a bit and you send it to Mudbox, and you do all your sculpting in Mudbox. You could do it in Maya. Maya has pretty much the same tools, just Mudbox is very, very comfortable, and when you send it back, it will send you the blend shapes connected already. So what I've done is I've also when I bring it back, actually I'll unisolate it. Alright, I'll reveal it, turn it on. Alright, and I'll isolate. Whoops, sorry. And I'll isolate it. Shift I. Well, if that doesn't work, we go here. Alright. And if I go into the window and I scroll down and I look for animation blend shape. Alright, I'll get this nice window. And in this window, I'll go to options in this case, because I got a lot of blend shapes, and I'll go to horizontal, and then I could see my blend shapes. Now you see I've made a smile and a frown and an E and an O and an and a oof, and then I went to the eyebrows. Alright, and you should look at a book called Stop Staring, which explains exactly how to do this correctly. Alright, then I got flaring nose, and I got the squint like that. So, I broke it up so I could easily control it. But if you notice, this head doesn't have any skinning on it, and my geometry does have skinning on it. And the reason I did everything first and then I'm doing this is because Maya needs to very simply know what comes before what when it comes to its inputs. Because if you do the skinning after the blend shapes, Maya will turn off the skinning the minute you add a blend shape. So the blend shapes have to come after the skinning in the hierarchy. You can change it, there is ways to do it. I will not go into it. Just if you work in the right workflow, you won't have to do all kind of manipulations, and just do it right. So once I have all of this onto this head, it has to be identical to the head that you have skinned. Has to be identical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this head and take this head. Alright, and I'm going to blend shape between them. So I'm going to go to create deform under animation, create deformer, blend shape. I'll go into its controller. I'll give it a name. We'll call this main. Alright, and I'll pretty much leave it the same as is and go apply. Now you'll see that, alright, if I now give a smile, they both should move. Alright, but it's not working, so I'll delete. I probably just did not. Alright, put them together in the same space. Alright, and I'll do it again. Alright, so I have to choose that, and then we'll go to blend shape. Alright, and I'll bring this up to 100%, and then we'll see, now they're moving together. Alright, once this is done, alright, I will hide the main blend shape. And now all I have to do, alright, is I could create, you know, different expressions just by playing with this. Alright, but opening this window is kind of uncomfortable, and I would like to control it from my viewport. And by the way, you know, you want to know is, oh, there we go, exactly what I thought would happen. Alright, my skinning got detached. So the only way for me to fix that, alright, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to this guy up here, and all inputs, and I'm going to drag my skinning with the middle mouse button down underneath the skinning. Alright, so now it should be fine. Alright, so if I rotate this down, I should have skinning. Alright, skinning's fine. And if I go now to window, animation, blend shape window, alright, see, it's all working. And this is exactly what I wanted. Alright, of course, I could create different expressions very easily. So now all I have to do is, you know, connect the controllers. So let me just go over this quickly. Alright, so basically, as you saw, I went to these icons here, right and left clicked, and then choose all inputs, and then basically if I choose this, alright, I can change the order here. I could even delete if I want. But the thing is that the blend shapes have to be underneath the skinning, otherwise it won't work properly. Alright, so let me just close them out. And what I want to do now is connect to these guys here. Alright, so first thing, I got two kinds. I got two kinds of controllers. I got a controller that goes up and down, which I should use for the eyebrows or the eyes. I got a controller that goes left to right, which goes too much, but I'll sort that out. Alright, and I have this which only goes up and down, but I want it to go everywhere, so I have to sort that out. So I'm gonna go A, Control A, while I'm choosing this, and I'm gonna actually go here to the main shape, and we'll go all the way to the end to where we have our transform attributes and limit information. And under limit information, I can find, alright, that my translate X has been limited. So I'm going to put here -1, -1, and the minimum, and 1 at the maximum. So now I could go here and here, I could go anywhere in this box. Alright, let me do this again. Alright, and I'll move, lock and hide these. Alright, so that one's done. Control A. Again, I go to the name here, main thingy, and what I'll do is just put a -1 here, -1, and a +1. Alright, so now this will be able to go anywhere within that section. This one, what happened was it's going between 0 and 1, and these things are just too short, so I'm gonna just delete this guy and I'll fix the bottom one later. I'll stop the video and fix it. It's just a matter of, you know, taking it to the right place. So let's connect these two blend shapes. So basically I use drive keys to do that. What I'll do is I'll choose this guy and I'll bring it back, and I'll choose this guy and I'll hide it for now. Alright, so, and I just got my blend shape guy. Alright, it has no skinning. So why I did this, because what I want to do is create drive keys, and let's say if I bring it up I want him to smile, if I bring it down I want him to frown. If I take it left or right, let's say I want him to go O or E. Alright, and then it will sort of mix them in between. Alright, so let's see how that works, and then when the other one we'll do the eyebrows. Alright, you know what, let's start with the eyebrows, because the eyebrows is an easier target to do, and then I'll stop the video and do the other thing, but at least you'll get the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to animate, and I want to go set drive key, set drive key, set. Alright, so it will open this window, and then here I want this thing to be my driver. This is what's going to drive the whole thing. I do not need the Z, so I'm going to lock and hide that as well, and I'm going to reload. Okay, and then I'm going to choose this guy, and I'm going to choose the blend shape node. See, I chose it from here, and then driven. So then I'm going to choose the blend shape node from here. So I want the translate Y, and let me see, when I bring it up to the top I want it to have inner eyebrow up. Okay, so I'm going to go key selected. You see it's keyed it, and then I'm going to move it up, and then I'm going to go back to the blend shape node and I'm going to put this at 1. Alright, I'm going to key it again. So now when I move this up, see, it goes up. Cool, very cool. Alright, let's bring this back down to 0. Now let's go brow down. Alright, so key selected. Alright, now I'm going to go to -1 here. Alright, and here I'm going to actually go to 1. Alright, down. So I'm going to key selected. So now when I move this up and down, see I get this. Alright, very easy to use. Alright, let's Z that out. Alright, so now I want, when I go to X, okay, let's go to squeeze. Let me see, I just got to remember which one's which. Alright, if I take it to the left, say if I take it this way, I'd like the eyebrows to go up. Alright, okay, so I'm gonna get that. So let's start off here, and we'll go to the X, and we'll go key selected. Alright, then we choose this again, and go to 1, and I'll move this here, and then I'll go to 1. Alright, and key selected. So now you'll notice I could get something like this, which is really cool, because now I can make it dance. Alright, so I want to add the frown, so let's just zero everything out. Let's shape frown. Alright, we'll key that, and then I'll go -1. Go here, and we'll put this at 1, and key selected. So now what I have with my eyebrows is something like this, which is kind of cool because I got full control on what my eyebrows do. Alright, and I can have like sort of a mix, or you know, so this is kind of cool. So this will be my eyebrows. Cool. So let me pause the video and I'll do the mouth. And basically sometimes I just do sliders for each, you know, if he talks then I'll have a O, A, W, F, U, and so on, and each vowel will get a mouth shape. I will not do that here, just because of time limitations. I'll just do it on these big guys here. So let me reload the driver, and this guy did not get everything that I wanted, so let's just go and freeze the transforms, lock and hide, and reload. Okay, so oops, I did this all wrong. Choose this. I wanted these guys gone. Sorry, these guys gone. Lock and hide, reload. Okay, so now again I'll do that. So I'll just pause for a second and I'll get the mouth to do what I want it to do. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and, you know, just put each one of the blend shapes as a slider here, just because they are valves. And if it was just a smile or something like that, I will, you know, do the same thing as I did here with the eyebrows. But that's, you know, more than enough. What I still have a few more blend shapes that I haven't connected. Which are the nose and so on, which I will probably, you know, make one like this. But then again, you know, it's just, you know, to keep it as simple as I can. You know, like as you can see, all I have to do now is hide this guy. Okay, zero that out, and bring back the skinned guy. And now I've basically created a facial rig. Alright, so I could add a smile, maybe bring the lips up a bit, you know, so I get more of a ah kind of thing. Now for the tongue and other things like that, again, it's a little more complicated, and I'll probably have to do a video separate for that. The same way I did the blend shapes for this, you can do for the eyes. Like I said, I'll do a separate video on how to create a rig for the eyes using bones and skin weights and all that stuff, but it's a little more complicated, and I'd rather do it in a separate video than just, you know, blend shape it. And the reason I would prefer that is because, you know, I want to have the feeling of the skin rolling over the eyes and just not blending over the eyes. So, you know, just so it is easy. And by the way, you can see like everything goes together with it, and I'll add, you know, I've built it in such a way that all I have to do is duplicate these guys and move it around, and you know, it's just move it down. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll create letters and put it over that. There is a script on Creative Crash that's called KK Controls, and that helps you build controllers very fast, and, you know, create things like this where you have like one curve that has more than one shape in it, and instead of, you know, writing the whole script and everything is done for you. So you should check that script out. Another script that is worth to check out is WP Rename. I use this a lot to rename everything, and that's about it. There are other scripts, but I'm not going to get into it now. So that's the end of this video. I hope this helped. I'll get into the eye thing you know, within a few weeks, and well, maybe a few days. I don't know. We'll see if I have time. And this is the basics. It really is a basic rig. If you could do this, and again, you could do the eyes again as blend shapes. It's, you know, you don't have to have it perfect. And you know, here, let's give a little smile. Another thing about smiles and stuff like that, just, you know, FYI, usually what I do is I create facial expressions like smile and frown, and then what I do is I half it, so I could like have a corner smile up and corner smile down. Again, read the book, Stop Staring. It explains exactly all of this system that I just did. It's worth the money if you want to buy it. It's, you know, one of my Bibles. Go for it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you soon.